Welcome to Innsbruck, the capital of the Alps. This picturesque alpine city is known for its stunning mountain scenery, vibrant history, and a mix of modern and traditional Austrian culture. Join us as we explore the charming old town, iconic landmarks, mouth-watering local dishes, and even hike to an alpine hut high in the mountains. This trip offered the perfect blend of urban charm and outdoor adventure that took us by surprise. Good morning from Innsbruck, Austria!
This town is so gorgeous, and I can't believe it's already country number 10 on the year of travel. Like, it is honestly so bizarre, and we have so much in store for today.
And we're on 91 days of officially traveling the world, which is hard to believe. It's gone by so fast. And to start the day off, we're going to one of the most iconic views of Innsbruck, and probably one of the most Instagrammable views too. But you gotta do it when you're here, because it's just like incredible.
So we had to start today off with the most stunning views, and let me tell you, it has it all. There's water in the foreground, there's stunning architecture, and there's beautiful mountain peaks, which we learned you can actually go up to the mountain peaks, but it's $100, so we're not gonna be doing that. But across the river, and like where we're on now, is bike and walking paths, and yesterday we ran 2.5 miles on it because we've been here for a few days, and there's just like a bunch of people like lounging, drinking wine, enjoying the picturesque views, and like a laid-back evening, which I appreciate. But now we're gonna check out the old town because we haven't been there yet, and I'm excited to go there for the first time.
This old town seems so unique. There's buildings that have murals painted on them, and there's some that has like such detailed like statues coming out of it. And I feel like the buildings are really tall compared to like other old towns we've been to. So it's been really fun to walk around and look at it all, and there's still more to see. We've only saw like a fraction of it. And there's a palace right here. You can see the outside of it, but you have to pay to go to the inside. We're not gonna pay to go on the inside, so we get the views from the outside and imagine it in our heads.
So in this old town, there's plenty of souvenir shops, places to get food, chocolate, but we found ourselves at a cafe to get some strudels, which I'm really excited about because desserts, food, and coffee, and it's just a nice little break for the day. And we don't necessarily do a lot of shopping because we're living out of our suitcases, so we spend most of our time indulging in food. We have a full spread. I got an apple strudel, which I just found out was the national dish of Austria, one of them at least. And an Americano, and as you can tell, I'm thrilled. It smells and looks delicious. That's amazing. It's warm, the apple's a little tart, not too sweet. The dough is amazing. It's just overall a quality dessert. Definitely gonna give it like an 8 out of 10.
Brandon never rates food that high, so when it's an 8 out of 10, that means it's pretty darn good. And apparently this cafe has been open since 1976 and serves like the biggest variety of strudels in Innsbruck. A great spot to stop and get a little sweet treat. Or a savory treat, because there's savory ones too. There's seasonal strudel, which is strawberry and rhubarb, which sounds delicious. I love strawberry and rhubarb. So good. The rhubarb, the strawberries, the powdered sugar on top. That is a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Solid choice. Let's eat.
So we are in the heart of the old town, and in this little section you have the gold roof, which was created by Maximilian, and he used it so he could like watch all the things happening in the town square. And then you have the tall city tower over here, so it's just a bustling area with lots of food, shops, fun buildings to look at, architecture. Neat little place, but it's really compact, so you can see a lot of it like pretty quickly. Climbed the 133 stairs to the top of the city tower to get amazing views of the city. It's really beautiful up here. It was $9 for both of us to come up. Pretty awesome views. It's fun to see all the different roofs It's fun to see all the different roof types, and all the different views, and the mountains are just everywhere.
It was built in the 1450s and served as a fire alarm. And also the first floor was used as a prison in the medieval times. And it's just interesting how diverse and unique this city tower served. These panoramic views are 10 out of 10. And just like that, we're heading back down. And it is kind of nice that there's two staircases, so people coming up have their own path, and the people on the way down also have their own path. I'm also excited for like what we're about to do next, because I got a little glimpse of it from up top, and I'm excited. And I'm Brandon. Our next stop is this beautiful arch. I mean, come on, just look at that view with the mountains in the background and all the stunning architecture. Even on the way here, a lot of the streets we passed were all the same. Just beautiful architecture from the closest building all the way down to the end. It's just panoramic and just like a picturesque city. Innsbruck is seriously like straight out of a storybook. I mean, just look how much character this has behind me. But even like, I don't even know what this is, like a sign, like a little clock tower thing. The attention to detail, this just helps like paint the full picture of how picturesque the city really is. Even just walking around, we passed a bell museum, which was just so random, but it's kind of interesting. We didn't go in it, but they had like a courtyard. We could see a bunch of different bells, so I feel like we got a little bit of the experience. I guess you can learn about the evolution of bells.
So we made our way from the old town to more of the outskirts of town, and it is just so beautiful everywhere. There's these big churches on both sides of us, and we're making our way to one of the most famous landmarks in Innsbruck, which is the giant ski jump. So this walk out here has been beautiful, and I'll say this once and I'll say it again, Innsbruck is like a storybook. It's just so beautiful everywhere.
We walked in that church and holy cow, that was so gorgeous. I was not expecting that.
It was so big. There's all this gold decor, black elements. It like felt like very like gothic. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what it felt like to me. It was so just like wow.
And the crazy part is we almost didn't go in. We were like, oh, the door's open, let's just peek in. And yeah, whoa, we were instantly blown away. I know the day's been like this, but y'all won't believe it. We found another view of the city, and it's just a different perspective from what we got earlier, just because you're zoomed out a little bit where you can see the mountains a little more. Some of the beautiful churches we saw and went in, and this is overall a nice view of the city.
So we got closer to the ski jump, and there's actually skiers jumping down the hill, and it is wild to me that they do that because it's so tall and they jump for so long, and it's like, how do you not break every bone in your body going down? It is amazing. I'm really glad they had that going because I've never actually seen someone do the ski jump like that.
And you're probably wondering, why aren't we in there? Well, it was $11 each to go up, and we already saw someone jump. And there's just a restaurant at the top. Wasn't really our cup of tea, as you can say. But yeah, so cool to see. I'm glad we went.
Me too.
We made it to the Ambras Castle, and it's said to be the oldest museum in the world, and it has 11 different stops that we can do in here. And we just finished going through the armory, and that place was sick. I felt like I was in a video game and I get to choose like what weapon I wanted, like what armor style. But the museum did a good job of showing different like centuries of armor types, what influence they pulled in. It was overall just like a really cool museum to walk through, and it had like what a full army could look like. And now we're gonna continue exploring, but I'm already off to a great start. This is bizarre. It just looks like a chair, but it's a drinking game. You have to sit down in the chair. In order to escape, you have to drink a special amount of wine. And over here is names written in this book. It symbolizes that you're able to drink a lot. When that happens, you get to sign your name in this book. So this is for pro drinkers. This is also super random, but it looks like a stuffed shark, like an actual one with like details. And I don't know, I'm kind of creeped out. It looks creepy because it's like stitched together, but it's a stuffed shark. Super random. There's a wall that had like different coral on it. There's like a bunch of different like trinkets and artifacts, like drinking cups, old instruments. There's like a glass bell piano, which is one of its only kind in existence today. There's like this thing that you would store jewelry on right here, and just like beautifully decorated that you put on a cupboard. They have everything here.
But now we're gonna go inside the castle. I think we can go to the upper, lower, and the courtyard. So we got a lot to see in this next hour.
How cool is that? We just left the castle and there's peacocks walking right in front of us. So majestic. We even saw more in the garden too. I did not expect that happening today.
We just got done exploring the inside of the castle.
The inside wasn't as impressive as the outside, and I'm only saying that because a lot of the floors just had like a bunch of portraits, you know, rich people things. But I will say the cabinets that we saw were extremely detailed. We saw some tiled stoves, which I didn't even know that existed before now.
And we saw the ladies' bathhouse, and there's like an old chapel that was in there too. That was pretty cool. And there's a collection of glass. So some of the stuff was cool, but then there was a lot of portraits, and I was like, I don't want to read about all this.
It just dumps out into like the garden and park area.
Honestly, this garden area is pretty dope. It's just like nature trails that just spew out of the castle grounds. And I hear rushing water, and I'm excited to explore. Get some nature in me.
I was not expecting that from allegedly the world's first museum. So
Allegedly.
That was still a solid experience all around. Honestly, seems straight out of a book. We can't make this up. But the hiking trail takes us to a waterfall. I was not expecting to do a little hike and be in nature today.
This is the best part of the castle. How fun!
Yeah, this is a highlight for sure.
And there's so many trails around here. Who knew? Well, I kind of knew. I just didn't realize there was a waterfall right there.
Although hiking was great, it's getting darker out. So we're gonna start to head back to the city, and our next stop is going to be at a brewery, which I'm super excited about because Austria has top-notch beers. It's like Pokemon, you gotta try them all. We have a lager, a dark lager, and a pale. Here's all the ratings. I'm not gonna try them all right here, but I'll let you know. And those were my ratings. Probably time to get some dinner. And so we're gonna go try to find some Austrian food because we're here, of course.
We found our dinner spot. I can't say the name, but it has some good looking food. It smells great. We're outside and I'm ready to eat. So for my soup, I got beef broth with pancake strips, which sounds very interesting. I wonder if they're gonna be sweet. Look at this. That's delicious. I wouldn't say it's pancakey. It's more savory than a sweet pancake, but that is yummy. The broth, so flavorful. And the bread, just yummy.
We learned that it's pretty popular in some of the countries we've been to order a soup, and then you eat that while you wait for your main dish. So we're getting started with a cheese dumpling soup, and it looks phenomenal. There's a healthy bite, and I'm hungry. I'm not even kidding. That is top notch, seriously.
Is
like,
it?
9 out of 10. That was an amazing bite. My first time having wiener schnitzel. Look, I'm not this generous, but another 9 out of 10. It is bizarre. Maybe it's just because I love like unique flavors and combos. Before the year travel, I did not expect to mix like cranberry with meat and like a vegetable. The combo is just always undefeated.
Apparently this dish was created in this area of Austria. And it has fried egg, potatoes, and meat chunks in it. And it kind of reminds me of Zapacho from Bolivia, but let's give it a shot. So good. Nice and herby, and the potatoes are delicious and soft. The egg, all of it. This place gets 2 thumbs up from me. So good. I'm so full and happy. And the wait service was so nice. cake by the river, the Inn River, which is the big river that runs through the city, but we're on the other side, and there's this little ledge that everyone just sits on and just enjoys their evening. So we have our cake that is Austrian, and it's a chocolate cake, and it has like a dark chocolate layer on top and apricot, and it's famous for being an Austrian cake. So I'm excited to jump into this. That's delicious with the chocolate top, and then you can only slightly taste the apricot. So the first part of this hike is taking us through this like residential area. We can see all these cute little mountain homes with their flower baskets. So far, perfect. A slow incline into those. So the first official part of the hike is taking us through this magical mountain forest where we're along this babbling stream, crossing over a bridge. So far, it's starting out pretty awesome.
At least we're going to a mountain high, so I have something to look forward to, because I don't really have any idea of what it looks like in my head. Like, I can't picture anything. I'm kind of just going in the dark with this hike.
It is so beautiful here. I don't think you can go wrong hiking anywhere in this area because there's trails everywhere. It's just so beautiful. I hear cowbells in the distance. I think we're gonna see some cows. Just hear them jingle, jangle, jingle.
We found the cows and a great view of the city just basking in all of the mountains. There's two paths we can go. We can continue on this sort of flat and gradual path that takes 2 hours, and then the next way takes all the way up there, which is about like an hour and a 15-minute hike. However, we looked on all trails, and apparently it's a challenging hike, and there's like a 79% grade, so we don't know what we're gonna do. We're still talking it through. We made the decision to stay on this path for two reasons. One, I don't think we're as prepared to do something a little more strenuous right now, and the weather forecast does have thunderstorms on it for later. If it were to rain, we'd rather get caught on this path that has a lot more people than up there with what we don't know. So yeah, gonna go a little safe today, which I feel like if it was sunny out, we would have been marching right up there. But again, it's going to be a little more chill today, which is fine. Wow. We can see the hut. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit. Luckily, we're almost there.
We have made it to the top. Here's the gate to go in. The views up here are stunning.
Being up here is really unique because there's not too many hikes I've been on where you go towards mountain peaks. There's a whole restaurant there where you can get beer, and it's kind of bizarre.
And it's just an awesome place to eat some lunch. It's like you go up this hike and then get some lunch.
But we probably would have spent more time here if it was nicer out and we didn't hear thunder and don't want to get rained out. But come on, look at this.
And now we're headed back down the mountain, and we're probably gonna stop somewhere to eat our lunch. It just felt weird eating our food in there because it felt like a restaurant, you know?
Yeah.
and we didn't want to pull out our sandwiches while we were there.
No outside food.
Yeah, so we're making our way down, and we're gonna go down a different way than the way we came up. So we'll probably see some new terrain. And that looks like a perfect place to have our lunch. After about 10 miles, we made it back down to our B&B, and we are pooped. So we're gonna take it easy for the rest of the night, eat some of our leftover meal, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.